Hey, what's going on, everyone? Justin here, and I have a plan to bring back book tag content on a fairly regular basis back to the channel. And I figured if I'm going to be doing that, might as well start this thing off again with the Booktube Bio Tag. It'll give newer subscribers a little bit of a chance to get to know me and that sort of thing for those who haven't heard some of these things before. And I want to thank Alan over at Big Hard Books and Classics for tagging me in this one. Definitely check out his channel. It's awesome. I've been watching his stuff for quite a while now. Now, this tag was created by Jessica's Library Card, who is a new channel to me, but I did check it out earlier today, and I thought what I saw was pretty good, so definitely check her channel out as well. So let's just go ahead, get started, and if you have any tags that you'd like me to do specifically, leave some comments down below, and I'll try to throw them into the mix and everything like that. So let's just get started. So question number one is, who are you? And share a little bit about yourself. So obviously, my name is Justin and everything, but so currently been a social worker in different kind of social work fields for the past 8 years or so. But I kind of want to transition out of it for sure. I'm married, I have one kid, and I have another one on the way. So that's pretty exciting. I got 4 pets right now. We have a dog, 2 cats, and a lizard. And Sophia makes semi-frequent appearances in the videos. Wendy, the lizard, probably will once she wakes up from brumation, hopefully in the near future. So I think that'll be kind of cool. I have a woodworking shop where it's shameless self-promotion. I have an Etsy store, sell some things. Definitely check it out if you want to help me out and, get out of my stressful work field and everything like that. I have a bunch of gardens, and I want to start incorporating field guides and gardening books and more outdoorsy stuff. I live in the middle of nowhere. I live in the far north in the North Maine woods. When you think of rural, just multiply it by 10, and that's basically where I am. The population density of the town that I live in is 9 per square mile, though I do know people that are even more and more rural than I am. So I do like it that way. But like I said, full house, got land to do gardens and outdoorsy, snowshoe walks and everything like that. So that's really cool. And then one more thing about me is I'm pretty seriously considering if I want to take powerlifting seriously. That didn't make a whole lot of sense, did it? I'm considering taking powerlifting seriously and see if I can compete kind of at the local and state level and that kind of thing. So that's just something interesting me about there. So anyways, there is that. Number 2, how long have you been on Booktube? So technically I started in 2018, so that's actually 7 years? This is year number 8, I think, officially, which is crazy. However, there's been, there's been several hiatuses during this 7 or 8 years. I think 2023 I might have put out 5 videos, if that. And I think there was another year where it was pretty similar, and then there was another year where I went 4 months, did some, and then another 4 months off. So it's been very sporadic, we'll say. But since kind of my reboot, I started this back up seriously after about a year off in February of 2024. So about a year steady since my last super, super long break. Number 3, what kinds of books do you love to read, and has Booktube have had any effect on what you read? All right, so my 3 major genres. So anything, nonfiction in general is definitely my thing. My reading is probably 90+% nonfiction. Just recently started reading a little bit of classics, but it's kind of going, I'm not 100% sold on it yet. So nature, science and nature, ecology, biology, especially is my thing. So that's all those ones there. That's probably my favorite. That's definitely my bread and butter favorite one. Then I have a lot of history over here, but out of history, definitely the classical world, the ancient classical world is by far my favorite. Anything during the Greco-Roman period is my thing as well. And philosophy is probably my 3rd genre that I read the most of. I guess that's the one I'm most invested in, as far as doing deep reading or diving into it and that kind of thing. So yeah, those are the 3. I will say I used, if for those who are super hardcore long time subs to the channel, my channel used to be called Triumphs of History and Fantasy, because I started off reading fantasy books. I don't really read fantasy anymore, like at all. I don't know why I said like really, like I don't think I have since like 2020. It's not so much that Booktube made me like stop that. I think it might have had like a little bit of part of it, but just generally, a lot of the fantasy books I was reading, like there wasn't a whole lot of standout stuff. A lot of it felt very repetitive, kind of doing the same kind of things and everything. And a lot of times the literary quality, like the actual prose of the book itself, just wasn't like super amazing. And I will say, like, as far as like Booktube having an effect on that, like for example, I thought Brandon Sanderson was just like bad. Yeah, like out of the 3 books I read, 1 was pretty good, and the other 2 were just not great. And I said that, and you know, people like just like slurp it up and everything, which is fine. But I think objectively, like the writing is not like super amazing. So when people were basically trying to spin it as, you know, for example, his writing being like super basic is actually like a plus in his intentional on there. And I don't know, it got to be a little bit too much. But in general, I think just a lot of fantasy was just kind of, I don't know, just didn't stand out anymore. I didn't have any fun reading it, so why read it if you're not having fun with it? All right. Number 4, what do you enjoy most about making Booktube videos? So by far and away, my favorite thing, as far as like being a creator of Booktube videos, is when people get recommendations from me. My favorite comments are when someone says, you know, I had never heard of such and such author, topic, or title of a book or anything like that. And then they come back. Sometimes they'll come back and say, like, I read it, it was awesome, or whatever. But even just like bring new books, especially because nonfiction doesn't get a whole lot of like limelight. Just bring in, you know, books on different topics, and just like I said, unique ones you don't really see anywhere else. Is probably my favorite thing, for sure. Let's see. I guess that doesn't really have a lot to do with I guess making them, in the sense like that is like the content. But anyways, let's see. Number 5. What do you not enjoy about making Booktube videos? So obviously the editing. I've talked about that like a zillion times. Most of these are like one shots, or like there might be a little bit of splicing, but they're mostly like, you know, just one takes, and like I just kind of like roll with it and that kind of thing. So one of my things besides editing is just like the actual setup and stuff, like the lighting and microphone and the technical like processing of it like afterwards and everything. I can't stand, because like I feel like I look super weird with like the lighting and everything. I can never get it to like look right. Like a lot of people on Booktube and like YouTube in general, like they got the lighting and the sound and everything like really well done. And I just feel like I'm not getting I've even looked, I watched videos, I've read on it and stuff, and I just cannot seem to like get, like I said, the kind of the technical videography portions of it very good. So that's probably my least favorite thing. Like if I had like a setup and like had it done, I would basically just like I wish I could. I just like dedicate a room and just like leave everything like permanently in place and that kind of thing. So anyways, number 6, what video on your channel are you most proud of? This one's actually pretty hard for me, because spoiler alert, as kind of going along with the one takes, I don't want to say I don't put any effort into my videos. That's probably not the right way to put it. What I will say is I don't like prepare and prep for them like a ton. Maybe that shows. That probably does show quite a bit, to be honest. I don't know. It's just not something I'm not really interested in, like preparing and scripting out things and that kind of thing, to be honest. Definitely more just like point and click and shoot and record is kind of my style. But kind of going along, so in that sense, like a lot of my videos, there's not really a whole lot that like I would say like I put more effort or I'm like more proud of. I guess more proud of, there's like 2 videos, I guess I would say, like I have a book on like I can't remember how many, I think it was like 20 different Greek history book recommendations, and then also like the same thing for 20th century, 21st century history book recommendations, I think. And the reason I'm probably more proud of those ones is, first of all, like I said, Greek history is just kind of like my thing. So like just being able to be like, here's like a whole slew of them. Go find something you like. Just makes me feel good. And then with the modern history, it's more because I've pushed myself over the last couple of years to like branch out and read more history eras and topics and subject matter that I didn't used to read. I'm trying to branch out quite a bit more on that side of things. So yeah, I think I'd probably be proud of that, and the fact that I actually went out and read those books to then like recommend you all. Right. Number 7, is there anything you wish was different about Booktube? So I feel like this is like this is a dangerous question. I think in general, I just wish there was more nonfiction, like just in general. It's not necessarily like a bad thing. There's definitely plenty of nonfiction if you know where to look. So I don't get me wrong when I say it like that. I guess one thing I would say is sometimes I do feel like with some creators that are like really big, maybe it's just me being jelly and green with envy and stuff, is I feel like a lot of times like the aesthetics kind of take over more so than the actual content of the books and everything. I will say, when I first started BookTube, it was very echo chambery as far as like all the medium and bigger size booktubers, like kind of what they were talking about, all the books that were coming out and being promoted and reading and everything like that. It was super echo chamber. It's not quite as bad as it used to be, but I still feel like it seems to be a lot of the ones that make it big focus more on the aesthetic kind of portion of it, which is totally fine because I mean it is like a video medium, it is YouTube. But like I said, just kind of when you're talking about books, it's like more like style over substance or whatever. So anyways, that's me just, shaking my fist at the sky kind of thing. Number 8, name 3 books that you have reviewed on your channel that represent you as a reader. So I'm closing in on 100 book reviews, though a lot of them are kind of like older and that kind of thing. Let's see, if I had to pick some that I've actually like straight up reviewed like in individual videos, though, in my wrap up, I do feel like in my wrap ups and like now that I'm doing like Friday reads and everything, I do talk about like each individual book quite a bit. But let's see. So for like one that I'm gonna just pick like 3 books I reviewed last year: The Secret History of Sharks by John Long, The Rise of the Ocean's Most Fearsome Predators. I'm just trash for anytime there's The Hidden Life of or The Secret Life of or something like that, and then insert plant or animal, there. I'm pretty much trash for. So yeah, that's kind of a good one there. This is a really excellent. I feel like sharks are actually a really good topic for nature books. I think I've read like 3 or 4 5-star reviews, or 3 or 4 5-star books that I've given, that I can think of. So yeah, definitely check out some shark books. As far as history, let's go with Thebes, because I keep talking about Greek history. Thebes is my favorite Greek polis. I feel like it totally gets overshadowed by Athens and Sparta and that kind of thing, but Thebes just especially during the Theban hegemony in the 4th century after the Peloponnesian War, when they basically like curb stomp Sparta, free the Helots and the Messenians and everything like that. They had like 11 years there where they were just like the top dog in Greece and stuff. But anyways, this is Thebes, the Forgotten City of Ancient Greece by Paul Cartledge. Definitely give that one a look. I think they definitely get a bad rap for medizing, but they didn't have a choice. They're like up in the north, kind of like me, and no one was willing to go march up there to help them out too. And then I guess let's see, for a philosophy book kind of one here, we got I did do like I took notes over this one. I did like a book review like with my journal and notes and everything. I had The Ethics of the Climate Crisis by Robin Atfield, and I feel like this one is good just because I talk about conservation with like my nature books and climate just climate change and everything like that. So but it's got a good blend of like pretty deep ethical philosophy and stuff in there as well. So I just thought that one was really cool. So anyways, I would say like those ones are ones that I've reviewed and talked about that give a pretty good picture. Let's see, number 9, name 3 booktubers whose content inspires you. So first up, we have Hannah over at Hannah's Books. Mostly because like we don't have a ton of overlap with our reads and everything, but just the way that she's able to talk and articulate about the stuff that she's reading, I just love her style, just like the easygoing nature there. There's a few, like for example, Natural Magic, which is a dual biography of Charles Darwin and Emily Dickinson. Like, her talking about that and stuff. I'm like, wow, I wish I could be as eloquent as that. Another one is John David over at Nicholas of Autrecourt. His just books, we have a ton of overlap in the ones that we've read, but also we've done several buddy reads at this point, including one on the Enlightenment, St. Augustine's Confessions, one on the Revolutionary era in the 1840s and throughout Europe and stuff. So anyways, just like our banter back and forth and stuff, I've just like really enjoyed over time. And his channel mostly focuses on individual book reviews, but like I said, very on a lot of kind of like social and intellectual histories and stuff, a lot of stuff you don't see anywhere else. So I definitely appreciate that. And then a third one, I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit because he's actually pretty famous, but he now has a spin-off channel just dedicated to books. So I think he started off with a bunch of like kind of philosophy book, kind of booktube-ish kind of videos, but it's Jared Henderson. But he has his channel focuses on academia and philosophy, and philosophical topics and that kind of thing. But he also has a spin-off one now where he includes like all his like kind of just pure bookish content and stuff. So he's just super articulate with kind of really big concepts and big thoughts and everything like that. So I definitely appreciate that. And then number 10, share the love. Name 3 booktubers who you think need more hype. So yeah, definitely got a few. I'm going to do one better. I'm going to put 6 in here. And if you're not on here, don't feel bad. I don't want to go on for like hours and hours and hours here. So first up, we got Hannah over at Savage Reads. Savage Reads. She's got a couple of specific videos that I have in mind on like nonfiction. Like there was one on like, oh geez, what was it? It was on like social issues, basically big like kind of societal problems and stuff. Just super well done. She reads a good blend of like fiction and nonfiction. Definitely check out her channel. I have Stuart Griffin. He's a smaller booktuber. He's actually growing a beard out too, I think this year, just like me. But I think I remember first discovering him because he commented on a few of my videos before I think I discovered that he had his own channel. But he wanted to like branch out, and I think the one that if I remember, it was like the Children of Athena, and it was on like Greek philosophers or Greek intellectuals or something. And he talked about how he was branching out to like read it. So I was like, I'm definitely gonna check out his channel. And he does like weekly reads and everything like that. So here's Soph. If you want to see her, like she makes some appearances and everything. Let's see, number 3 on number 10 here. We have No Edit book reviews. So he has a very interesting style where it's just kind of the book and stuff that he talks about, but I would say 90+% of the books he talks about are specifically biology related books. Some are kind of like popular science, some are like definitely more in-depth science books and stuff. So I really appreciate like the biology focus. Super, super good if you like I said, science book reviews. We got Heidi over at, what is her channel? My Reading Life, I think is the name. Hopefully I got that right, Heidi. She's also a main booktuber, so that's really cool. But she has a ton of like kind of nature conservation stuff, as well as some history. She's doing like I think like a presidential biography challenge that she's setting for herself and everything. But just a lot of really good nature reads as well. Let's see, Vin over at Revenant Reads. Yeah, he started Historathon a couple of years ago, which is like just an initiative towards reading history books each year, kind of broken into quarters and everything. So it's really awesome. There's a Discord with a couple hundred people in it and everything. So just awesome. Definitely check out his channel as well. And then we also have Anya over at Well Traveled Books, who's just very eloquent, kind of talking about conservation, and then kind of different books on ecology and things, but also just kind of like fiction and everything. But like I said, I don't read a lot of fiction, but just the way she talks about a lot of the books, I just really enjoy her style and everything like that. So there. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video, learned a little bit about me, that kind of stuff. Like I said, if you have a tag specifically that you want to see me do, leave a comment down below. And like I said, I'll probably make a good effort to put it into the rotation at some point in time. I'll tag some others as well. But if you're one of the 6 that I mentioned there, consider yourself tagged as well. And always remember, whatever you end up reading, read victoriously.